Hello, we're on.
Hello.
Us again.
Hello again. So today we are cooking cottage pie. We will start with preparing the topping. So we need to peel potatoes and parsnip first.
Joanna, hold on a minute because we're cutting Joanna's head off here. And that's annoying, eh? Right, see if that's better.
Okay. I'll just take our recipe.
Yep, so as Joanna says, we're doing cottage pie. 1 parsnip. Do you see that up close? Do you want to pass that up?
1 parsnip.
I'm sure you know what tatties look like.
Yes, 6 potatoes. So let's peel them.
So we're getting started.
We've already boiled some water just to speed up.
Yep. And also because it makes a hell of a racket when we're trying to talk on the video and the kettle's going like the clappers. So we're getting started. We saw that the macaroni cheese video was posted up today, so we're quite excited. Hope people got on fine with that. Okay, there's 1 peeled parsnip. Smells lovely. These are medium-sized potatoes. The recipe calls for about 6 potatoes. So these are medium-sized.
The reason we are adding parsnip to mashed potatoes is we just want to sneak in more vegetables, and parsnip is exactly the same color as potatoes.
We're all sneaky, eh?
Yes. So it's going to be another of our 5 a day.
Well, when you look at this recipe, you've got your 5 a day in there. You've got onions, carrots, potatoes, parsnips, onions.
Yeah. We can add garlic if we want to.
Oh right, we'll add garlic then.
And we can always serve this this dish with side vegetables, just to make it healthier.
Aye, well, I'm going to be having it for my tea tonight again, and I will probably have it with, I don't know, there's carrots in it.
Broccoli maybe?
I've got a wee bit of cauli and I've still got a bit of broccoli, so I'll just throw in some broccoli and cauli.
We can even add like maybe just peas.
Aye.
As a side dish.
Aye, yep. Could I get one of these knives, Joanna? Just doing the carrots.
Now we just need to chop potatoes and parsnip quite finely, so it's going to cook much quicker. And the carrots, we will grate them. It's going to be grated carrots.
And that's for the same reason, isn't it? So that they'll cook quicker.
Yeah.
It's a pity we've not got a rabbit. We could feed it all these
Peelings.
all these peelings. Okay. So I had the macaroni cheese that we made last week, and Uran, who loves swimming, said it's a bit bland, and I think that was simply because I hadn't put in salt to the pasta water. So normally a sauce would cover that up because, as we said to you before, we're trying to reduce the use of salt where we can. But in that case, Anne was saying, no, you could taste it. The pasta wasn't salted. So she moaned about that.
So I think today we will add some salt to water with potatoes and parsnip.
Yes. Okay. Get rid of all that. We're still trying to socially distance from each other. That's why I've got that table there. But it's not easy.
Where is salt? Rosa?
Salt is here in the cupboard.
You can add some to the pot.
Okay, big pot again, you'll recognise that from last week. Some salt, naughty, and then I'm going to be putting the boiling water in again and put the back ring on. So I've got the back ring on to high till we get it to the boil. But once we get these veggies on cooking, then Joanna can carry on with the meat.
Yep.
So as you can see, the parsnips and the tatties look kind of the same.
Yeah, everything goes into the pots. It will take about 15 minutes, probably about 15 minutes to cook.
But in that time, we'll be dealing with it, the cottagey bit of the pie.
Yes.
Right.
So I'm gonna cover this, and we can also put the oven on.
Did you take that grill out, Joanna?
Yes.
It's at that end, yep. So what is that going on at?
At 200 degrees C.
Which
No,
is,
it says 180 and gas mark 4. So we need to follow the recipe. Right, so now I'm gonna start preparing the mince. So I'll chop the onion first. Do you like cooking with others, Rosa?
with other people?
Yeah.
Yes, I do actually quite enjoy it. It's the weirdest thing that now doing this as a job, and when I was wee, living in Cottage Street in the bottom end, I remember when there was 5 years, 5 children, and my mum and dad, so 7 years in the house. And you made
Busy
your
house.
you made your entertainment where you could. So I used to love playing in the kitchen, and if I was making something, if I was maybe only about 8 or something like that, but if I was making a cup of tea or I was making a sandwich or something, I would pretend that I had landed in a desert island and I was teaching all the natives how to cook. So I would say out loud what I was doing.
Oh.
So what a weird way. And now I'm doing it as a living.
Yeah.
So I'm chopping my second carrot here, grating my second carrot.
Yeah. And I'm chopping the onion.
And you know what carrots are good for, eh? For making you see in the dark.
Yep, it's vitamin A.
Vitamin A. Yeah, it sounds like a bit daft, but it's actually because it's got it's high in vitamin A. Vitamin A is really necessary, essential for keeping good eye nerves and keeping your eyes healthy. So it's actually, there's truth in the old saying.
Right.
Nearly there.
So I'm going to fry off this mince. So we need to cook it until it's brown and then drain off any excess of fat. I think Rosa has the meat very lean. Yeah?
Yes,
5% probably.
I always buy lean mince. You know, I know it's dearer than the higher fat mince, but to be honest, it's not that much dearer. And obviously it's healthier, but at the same time, by the time you actually brown fatty mince, so much it boils off, the fat boils off, and you're left with less mince.
Yes.
So it's actually, it's no saving you money, really.
So we kept our mince on a separate table just to make sure we will not contaminate any of the other ingredients. And the mince goes straight into the pot.
And the recipe calls for 250 grams.
Yes. And now I'm going to wash my hands after touching the raw mince.
This is what we call a tiny wee bit of carrot that if I tried to grate it, I would then scrape my fingers, so this goes in my mouth.
Right. Where is a spatula?
Spatula.
Thank you. Right, so this is boiling. You can see the steam.
The tatties are boiling.
Yes.
I didn't think it will take as long as 15 minutes.
We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so we need to brown our mince first.
Now, the reason we brown the mince first, do you want to explain, Joanna?
It's just to add more flavor to the mince and remove the fat.
Mm-hmm.
If it is like not a lean mince,
Then you would drain the fatty juice off it.
yeah. And something else.
Yeah, just thinking in terms of food hygiene, food safety, as well as if you can quickly brown the
Yeah.
outside meat, then
You make sure you
you made a barrier
Yeah.
against bacteria.
you
while
kill
you're
all
cooking.
the bacterias.
Yep. And that's why it's got a bit harder to do with mince than with a steak or something like that. But you should always brown things off before you start adding the other veggies.
Right.
What number have you got that up, Joanna?
Number 4.
4, right, maybe a bit higher.
Okay. So once we'll have our mince browned, we will add carrots, onion, stock cubes. So I've got 1 stock cube, tomato puree.
Worcester sauce.
Yes,
Can you say that?
Worcestershire
Worcestershire sauce.
sauce.
You should be wearing your face cover and saying that.
And mixed herbs.
Yeah.
Also 1 mug of water. I like this dish because it's quick, it's fulfilling, and we can also make like a bigger portion to bulk this up by adding like a tin of baked beans. Maybe if we expect guests or visitors, so we can make very easily a bigger portion.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Oven proof dish later on. Yeah, it needed a higher
Higher
heat.
cook.
Mhm.
Everybody knows their own cooker's best, eh?
Yep.
So we're going fine. Now, I'm wondering, Joanna,
Yes.
this is just a wee idea. Last night I had braised pork cutlets and I had done a gravy, I had onions and I had mushrooms in it. And this is what's left over. Gravy, mushrooms and onions, and I thought, I think I'll just keep that and put it in cottage pie. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to pass that
Good idea.
to the camera. It's just going to be, again, bulking it up
Yeah.
and it means it's no wasting the food that's there, but also it's going to have quite a deep flavour because it was cooked yesterday and it had nice pork and gravy and all sorts of things in it. So I thought I'll just get a bit. So again, that's not in the recipe, but it's an example of how you can adapt your recipes.
Yeah, maybe use leftovers. Same for the topping. If you had like leftover mashed potatoes from previous day, you can just use them.
Just throw them on the top. So that's looking good.
Yeah. So our potatoes are on.
6. So you want to turn them down, or you just want to keep them
No,
there?
they're fine. Right, fine. I'm just checking the time. It's about 10 minutes now.
Right. So once this all gets put together, it goes into the oven for about 30 minutes. But as you can see, everything's getting cooked in advance, or mostly cooked in advance.
Can I use that?
Aye, just push it backwards. Wait a minute.
I can use this one. Right, so I've got some water. I'm just gonna remove this. I think it's maybe water and fat.
But is that not all the flavour as well? No?
No, the flavour is, once it starts browning,
Right.
then
Right, so we'll brown your mince.
the reason I asked if you like cooking with others is because I like it because you can find out more like tricks and tips from other other people, but it also brings like families together. It's not just eating together, also cooking. I think.
Ah, you're right. You're right. I mean, for my son's birthday, George's birthday in May, you know that I got him cookery school course. That I had got one for my Christmas. So we
See,
kept
now
them together.
we can hear means now
You
it's
can hear it
frying.
sizzling. Yeah. So yeah, so we both went to the Edinburgh School of Food and Drink and spent the whole day together and cooking together, and it was great.
Yeah.
We both love eating. We both love talking about food. We both love trying out new recipes and letting each other know about them. So this was a day of Indian cooking, and we cooked and we ate as we went along, and it was really fun.
Yeah, so you can discuss your experience and share what you've learned, and maybe ask questions if something was maybe confusing.
Yep. And because we did our online, not our online cooking, our cooking with families.
Right, so I've got my onions and now carrots.
We did a lot of work with families working together, cooking at Socky Hall before the lockdown, and it's a great way for families to get together, isn't it?
Yep.
And then we'd all eat together afterwards. And you learn so many other things while you're cooking as well. Again, like sneaking vegetables into meals, it's like sneaking other things into the conversations, like
stock cube and tomato puree.
Like tomato puree.
2 dessert spoons, and then just 1 mug of water.
So of course the puree will give it a nice intense flavour. Remember your Worcestershire sauce.
Yep. Again 2 dessert spoons.
See, she's learning her way about the kitchen. You can put a wee bit extra in there if you want.
You like more?
I like more.
You want any black pepper?
Yes, please. Black pepper's in the second drawer, near the corner. Unless you want to use the.
Here, yeah, I've got this.
That's the ground, but I've got. Sorry, I've got ground there. If you want to use it.
A wee bit extra spices for Rosa.
Yep. So we didn't hear Uran going on about it. That was bland. But I did go over the top a wee bit. I made soup last night for Uran's work. So it was butternut squash with sweet potato and.
So I'm going to leave this to simmer for just like 5 minutes. So we will make the topping while this is simmering.
You might have to turn that down a wee bit, Joanna, because once it gets high, it.
Okay, number 3, 2.
I'm talking about the mince. What you want it at?
Oh, sorry.
Aye, that's.
3.
Aye, or maybe even 2.
Okay.
With it, once it gets heated up, it's a fast cooker.
Okay. And this will go in at the end.
Yeah. So as I was saying, I made the butternut squash soup, and it's got loads of stuff in it. It's got ground cumin in it. It's got fresh chilies, lemon juice, ground coriander, some lime zest, honey, ginger.
Lots of flavours.
Loads and loads and loads of flavours.
I'll check if the potatoes are soft. Just checking parsnip. Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, fine. You want a colander for that? Drain it?
No, I'll just use lid.
Right.
Just to remove the water. If I can get milk, we need 1 dessert spoon of margarine. I've got margarine here.
I've got margarine too.
Alright, okay, margarine and milk, please.
So semi-skimmed. Actually, can I make a change in this recipe again because it's for my tea? Didn't want margarine in it. Margarine will make it creamy, but I've actually got quark. I'll show you what quark does. So the butter was just going to go into the tabbies to make it nice and creamy, but quark, fat-free quark, is a high-protein alternative to soft cheese and yogurt. It looks just like cream. You can't see it, just see a white thing.
But it's 0 fat.
It's 0 fat, and it's low in calories, and it is very tasty. And it's got loads of calcium and whatever. So I prefer that to margarine butter.
So let's check the mince.
There's quite a lot of tatties there, and
You think it's a lot?
parsnips. Well, it is to feed 4.
So I'm gonna add this leftovers here.
So again, of course, you stick to the basic recipe if that's what you want to do, but we're just giving you examples. And it would be at this point, Joanna, that we would put in a tin of beans if we wanted.
Yep. So we need to mash potatoes and parsnip.
That background off.
If we wanted to make this dish less healthy, we can add a wee bit grated cheese on the top.
Yeah. It's not too late to put a wee bit of garlic in that, Joanna.
For this?
No,
or,
the
no, we can add some garlic. Have you got garlic puree?
I've got puree.
Yeah. Right, so all the potatoes and parsnip are mashed,
Lovely.
nice and smooth.
I'm just going to put a dollop of garlic puree in. As you see, this is called creative cookery. How all cooks, well, all creative cooks say you take a basic recipe and then you just change it as you go along to suit your family's tastes.
Yeah.
Did you put the herbs in?
No, not yet, no. So, quark. And 2 dessert spoons of milk.
Otherwise known as a Dodd. What you could actually do is even do a turnip potato mash for your topping, couldn't you?
Yeah, or a celery bulb.
Oh,
Yes, like a celeriac.
celeriac.
Yeah. 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon of mixed herbs. We'll go to the meat. And I'm just gonna cover this and keep simmering until I will be ready to put this into my oven-proof dish. I'm just gonna mix this. You can also add herbs to the mashed potatoes.
Aye, that's an idea.
Could be parsley or rosemary, or even more mixed herbs.
Yeah.
Right. This is ready.
So from start to finish, well, to start to finish in this bit, the whole thing is like sort of 30 minutes prep time, but that's talking to you as well. And then it's going to be 30 minutes in the oven.
And the recipe says 20 minutes in
Oh,
the
sorry.
oven or until golden brown. So
Aye.
depends on the oven.
Aye. I mean, I've got a fan assisted oven, so sometimes, as I say, it can be quite fierce.
Right, so all the meat goes on the bottom.
Oh, it looks good.
It smells very good. Delicious.
Good. If you haven't got Worcestershire sauce, you could use brown sauce or something, eh?
Yeah.
And if you haven't got tomato puree, you could use tomato sauce or a tin of tomatoes, but it'll not be as intense.
And I think tomato puree also make this a little bit thicker,
Right.
so it's not that runny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, and then mashed potatoes on the top.
Right, so this is where it's going to get all creative. Just dollop it on, and this is when if you've got you've got your kids are helping you with this, they can maybe get to make the wee forked ridges on the top if you're careful and supervise so it doesn't get burned. Or you can just clean the pot.
So do you want all of those potatoes?
Yes, I just
Yeah.
put it all on, please. So again, we hope that's been useful, especially by giving you some extra healthier option ideas for it. Looks good.
Yeah, I think it does look good.
It
I
does
want
look good.
Some
Yes, please. So that looks really pretty. And again, that would feed 4. Very
looks
nice.
like this. So this is ready to go into the oven.
Into the oven.
You want this covered or just, we can keep it covered just now, but I would take the lid off, like, you know,
5
at
minutes
the
before.
end, yeah,
Yeah.
so it will brown nicely. Mashed potatoes.
Yep. Then it's going in the oven for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And Joanna, you want to show?
Yes, so I prepared one yesterday, and this is already cooked cottage pie which I made at home, and that's gonna be my dinner for tonight.
And see, it's nice and browned on the top, nice and crispy. And are you going to serve vegetables with that?
Yes,
What are you
yes.
going
I'm
to
gonna
serve?
have broccolis and cauliflower.
That's what I'm having.
Yeah.
Broccoli and cauliflower. So, once again, thank you very much.
Okay,
See you next
thank
time
you.
for Fruity Crumble.
Bye.
Bye.